Okay, recording started. Right. Let's see where we were. Um, so yeah, the quick recap will be, so far we understood integer, float, dealing with, and how to take input. After taking input, how we actually use them into a different formatting. When I say formatting, we have learned three different type of formatting: percentage one, normal format, and with the syntax with F, right? And we also learn indexing. So by now you know that Python stores the data from starting from the zero, and it divide every character you pass. It divides and put one character into the at one particular digit place, like zero, first, second, third, fourth. And when you have an empty space, even though that is also considered as one of the space, what you see here, Python is fun. So there is a space involved, right? Two spaces. Even though for that space also it count and consider that as a character. So empty space is also one type of character. Okay. Yeah. So we have seen this. We have seen that how to do a slicing once we have given a string, and then once it will do indexing, how to actually take some particular part from that substring from that particular substring, right? Okay. Different types of substring, length functions we have seen. Then we understood that the string cannot be replaceable, means once a value is given to a string variable, you can't replace on that particular indexing. It does not allow you. But the other ways are change the value with using some function and replace the entire variable value. But you can't replace the variable some index, right? So that won't allowed, and this is workaround on the below. So we should also understand the limitation when we work with Python. So we will be doing a development in a right direction. We should know always the limitation and benefits. Okay. Yeah, so this is the formatting I was talking about. This is the one of the way, and you can focus on other two formatting. Why formatting? When we need a certain strings, integer, float, or different variable value we want to club into a another dynamic string or a hard code string. That time we will use this format function. It's very easy, right? Like you can see here, fruits equal to some values, and then in the another string using the curly braces open and close, I just apply format and I provide the variable name. So this will be fit here, right? So this, I hope this PPT, whoever has, at least those who have practiced whatever we did yesterday. Okay, and the next here, this also sees the numerical value also you can do. So otherwise we can't deal with the different data types, right? We can't add an integer string, right? We have to cast them, we have to convert them. Converting casting is nothing but it belongs to a different category, and to bring it together we need to do some formatting, right? So this is another way of formatting values. Okay, and this is the best way I prefer, using percentage, because in this we know what exactly it's we are going to append to the string in a digit format, in a a number format, in a string format. The D denotes digits, here S denotes strings, right? So you can see a very good example. There is nothing much we have to write here. Format is not required. Directly percentage is enough, and after that we have to supply the number of variables. So that was a quick recap what we did yesterday, and I asked you to explore on different types of values what we store in the database or in the system: binary, hexa, octal, right? So those are the basic mathematical calculation. uh, if somebody is unable to find a right video, I will share it on that WhatsApp group. Okay, so now these are other functions which we can use. Function in the sense set of code somebody has written for us. We just need to apply. and this will convert and format. This will what I can say transform the value for us and give us the result whatever way we want. We just need to remember which function gives what. It already simplified, it goes with the name. Like lower, definitely it's going to convert all the string values to the lower case as a result, right? So and upper, definitely will do upper. Start with this is the function sometimes is useful to validate. Sometimes a value is passed by in user. We don't know what values he or she is going to give. Then if you were to check what it is starting with, in that case, these functions will play a role of validating the data, validating a particular string. So we should remember the functions, features, and benefits of it so that on the right place we can use it. Okay, and the end with is just the opposite with the start with. The strips we have already seen. It will cut down that particular words from your given string. Very simple examples. It's replace it first. It will find that first parameter value, and then it will replace with this. As you can see, the cashew nuts becomes coconuts, right? So it's very simple and straightforward. Like and R language and Pythons are actually invented for a very base level that a 8th class grade kids can learn that. A 5th grade kid also learning Python, and they're doing their gaming applications and many much more, right? So this is that much easy that a 5th grade, a 8th grade, guys and kids are learning and writing codes in Python. So when they can do, our brain capability is much higher and much experience, right? In terms of processing knowledge, understanding things, and seeing things on a high level, right? So we can utilize this. This is why this is one of the way it is getting famous. Okay, and yeah, so split function. Please remember, split function is very much important. It will split and put things into a list for us, whatever string we want to divide based on some special character, let's say space, by comma, by dot, by something, right? So remember the split function, right? As you can see on the screen, when I went with comma, no, I think in this example we didn't go, but in when we did our notebook, there we did using comma, and then we got three items in a list. Okay, we'll see what is list quickly. And when you have to print single quotes and double quotes, you have to remember that Python also understand a string within whatever you put into a single quotes or double quote. It's consider this as a string. But when you have to print them, you have to tell Python to ignore those so that you can get it print the single quote and double quotes. When I say print, I mean maybe you want to show a message to a user. Maybe you want to say, oh, your form is successful, you will receive something and whatever, right? In that case you might need apostrophes, single quote, double quotes. You can use, sometimes we greet user, hey there, how are you, something. So we might need slashes, slash, and single quotes. In that case we should remember what are the sequence, escape sequence. On a small story, I was not aware about when in 8 years back, 10 years back, when I was doing my first SQL programming. Basically, I'm a data side much familiar person, and I like on the data processing side. So I was looking to insert a single quote value with my string, and it took me around 3 to 4 hours because that time there was no much internet speed in my town, and I struggle. How do I save with a single quote? How do I print a single quote in a SQL server? So that took me 3 to 4 hours. So if I would have read a book or guide somewhere, somebody guided or something like this I got, then it would have been 1 minute job, right? So it's just the importance of reading and understanding and learning when we have some material. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And now, yesterday we did this, and these are the benefits, and these are the things list can do. So if your interviewer might ask you the benefit of using list or you will do with your string, then you can compare list and between a normal string variables, right? And then there are so many benefits. So these theoretical knowledge will help you to answer some specific questions when you do compare with any particular entity with something else. Okay, so this theory is given in your PPT. You can remember, and whenever you discuss as a technical discussion with someone, please try to bring these points. These points are important. This looks similar, sorry, this looks simple to you, but when you talk technically, this make more sense to a person because he is aware what you are talking. Okay, and we are new, so we don't experience everything here what is written, but that person must have experience, and when we speak it will match. Okay, so that's the advantage when you get something like that. Try remembering that. Okay, and this is how a list will look like, right? So with a separate, how do we separate items in the list? Using a comma. You can see in the first list item, which is letters, which is nothing but all type of alphabets, characters, and second is numeric, right? Numbers. You can club also. It does not say this is what heterogeneous means, and so it's not going with the one specific type, right? It's not going with integer string. It says, okay, give me whatever item you have. Okay, and we can add, once we have created a list, we can add more items to it. That's the another big advantage, right? Once we add it into if you take a string variable, once we assign some value, to add some value we have to write some other ways, or it will be treated as a one variable. But here when you add, it will be treated as a one item. Okay, we will see, we'll see more on list. We have to deal with lists so many places, but list is nothing but it's just like a string variable, but you have separated many items inside that. It's like a wardrobe, it's like a shelves where you put many things, right? Just remember that example, wardrobe example or something. Okay, and when we talk about indexing a list, it's also store every item on a indexing position, like starting from zero, like how a string variable we have seen, it start 0 one character, then one one first position another character, second position another character, right? In the same way the list store your first item. Now here our first item apples is nothing but 2 2 4 6, right? It's a six character word. Now this particular six character word is stored on the zeroth place of list. Okay, so it, because indexing, how it will do indexing based on the item 1 goes to the 0, item 2 goes to the first position, item 3 goes to the second indexing position of the list, right? So when I say fruits 3, I will get mangoes. But if you see as a human, means we are definitely seeing as a human, but if you see as a human perspective, we count 1, 2, 3, 4 as a mangoes position. But Python and list indexing works on the third positions, right? This is how it is stored. And we can always do reverse, left to right, right to left. In that case, the last one will be -1. Why it is much faster? We don't need to worry what we have in the end. We can simply say -1. This will bring us the last one. We can say -2. This will bring us the second last, you know. So we just need to remember this, and this will help us in development much easier way. Okay. These things we have covered, even though slicing again, because list is important, so I'm spending some more time again. Uh, it is very important, right? Learning big concepts is not big thing like, oh, I learned that. That's not important. When you learn is creating a small variable, when you understand how exactly you should create, what is the limitation, and what's the benefit of a variable, a simple variable, that becomes you, that gives you more confidence, and with that experience you go further and you learn big things. So whenever something comes up and you see, oh, it's a small syntax, I can remember, I don't need to worry about, give it a minute, spend some time there, learn and understand that basic thing, small thing, that will become a complex if you don't learn there when you learn a big thing, right? So big things are always simple if you are ready with the small things. Okay. This is very generic example what I'm giving, but let's focus on this PPT for now. So this is a slicing when we have so many items, let's say 1000, 2000, and we need some particular addresses to the some particular addresses. We need some specific range data like 2 to 5, 3 to 5, 1 to 2, something. In that case, slicing will help. Okay. And this is important when you do a data visualizations using Python, you are going to deal with huge data. Okay. In that case, you won't be able to see the result set like this. You only have to program, you have to perform some validation aggregation, some comparison, then you will, try to figure out what you have written or what's the output of your program. Anyway, just remember slicing, right? Okay. Yeah. So uh, yeah, so this is how changing values in a list. You can see on our row number one, the first row has four items. I'll consider this as an item, okay? Eva, there are four names actually, but as a list, all are items, item number 0, 1, 2, and 3, right? And the second positions, we are trying to replace that particular John with Jean, right? And see, once we do this, names equal to means name open bracket 2, assign this. This is assignment operator, right? We discussed this yesterday. And then when you print your list, then you will get the new word. The same thing, if you remember, we tried with the Bob. We have a string variable. We were trying to replace the first character of Bob in a string variable, and it was giving us error. Okay, but in list, it's allowing us. Okay, and this is the way that you can replace. But what else if you have to append, right? So in the below example, you have to append in the sense simply addition to the existing set of items, right? Okay, so this example we can do. Let me see, let me cover some more PPT, then we will cover up this example. Anyway, this is straightforward, but okay, let me do it if I might skip that. Yeah, oh, sorry. Yeah. So those who are joining today, please click on, after installing Anaconda, click on the Jupyter and it will open this particular window. Go and click here and click your notebook, create your notebook. So I'll name this as a day 3. Okay. Okay. So I'll say my list. Okay. I'll go with, let's see what we will get. Dot append for, let's see. You see, 1 to 3 was there and we append 4, right? There are many other different ways we can append, right? This way also we can append. Oh, there is error. So I won't go into that right now. Let's keep it simple because it's integer. So that supports a different methods when we deal with integer list items. So we will learn conversion and casting. I'm still hiding from you. I want you to simply do those exercise and be good at what we have so far. Okay. Okay. So I hope this was the simple example. Yeah. Let's move on. Okay. So far I need yes and no. Are we good so far till here? Yes and no on the chat window. Yeah, you can say no also. That's fine. I just no issues. If somebody didn't get something, I appreciate yes. So I got one. That's good. That's the honest response. Thank you. If you didn't get it, you didn't get it. That's fine. We will see and we'll try to improve. Okay, so a couple of answers. Okay. Can we go back to Jupyter? Okay, so yeah, here we are. You will get this notebook. I shared on that particular WhatsApp group. There is a one G Drive link, right? Which I shared already, where you will get all the notebooks. I exported this notebook like this. You can see. You see, download this as a this notebook IPYNB. I will download as a PDF also if you want, and I'll put it on this G Drive. Right? Okay. And you know, when you go to the home, this home, this is nothing but your folders, right? So you will find these files where you installed and you place that file and it will appear here, right? So let me show it. I installed in a D drive, I think. Yeah, here. So you just need to place a file here. Let me give you that space. Then it will be easy for you. Okay, I'll give you the space where you need to put that file so that it will be easy for you. Okay. Generally, we also do in the development environment using PyCharm, but for the practicing and all this thing, this is much better tool, the Jupyter, right? But you might get PyCharm. PyCharm, you might get a different tool in the future, but learn if you learn Python, it will remain the same. Whatever you write, whatever Python accept, or whatever data types and different things, right? It remains the same. Okay, so I think that was the purpose. Okay. Okay, so I think Nana, you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah, I think yeah, I think you can go ahead. So yesterday, someone asking for more detail for the big different courses we offer.
Okay.
So yeah, you can give some information on
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, good evening, everyone, from wherever you're connecting from. I did an initial introduction the first day, but I don't know. Probably new people joined, so I'll do it again. My name is Nana Osetutu Afrani. I go by Nana. Um, I'm the president of Employ Consult. I've been running this company for a few years now, and I partnered with Vijay, who's your trainer. He's a consultant and a certified professional with Microsoft products and other related skills. And together we have a bigger team that trains on different skill set as well. So I just wanna I hope you're enjoying it so far. I just want to share a little bit of what we have available to offer. We've already done two sessions already this year, and we're getting prepared for our third session, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. So I'll share my screen and show you a little bit of what we have available at the moment and the packages available so you can decide. Um, Please let me know when you see my screen. Vijay, is my screen on there?
it. Yes, yes, yeah, it's there.
Awesome. 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 Yeah. So basically, what you guys are learning right now, Python, is pretty much the introduction. But before you get a detailed understanding of technology and know the right career path, you need a detailed direction. And that is where Employ comes in. So you have to basically understand the MSBI, which is a Microsoft Business Intelligence, big data, which involves humongous data, because data is growing now in the industry. You learn Azure. Azure is the latest technology, which is related with cloud. And then Python, which you're currently studying, and Snowflake, which is a structure for data modeling as well. Um, Here are a few goals that we have set for our consultants because we have proven record of training people and directing them to the right path to get certifications to make you a certified professional, not only having the knowledge, but becoming a certified professional and also directing you to the right employers for you to become competitive and also to be employed by the right companies. We work with a lot of industry professionals, help you build your resumes, and we'll take it from there right after the training. This is some packages that we have. I'll share this on the WhatsApp group so you guys can review it on your own, and then whoever has any interest to join, we have our next session in the next 2 weeks. Just contact me directly. I'm also on the page, and then we'll be able to register you and take it from there.
You can zoom.
Yeah.
You can apply the zoom so that yeah,
Oh, it's tiny, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Now
Let
now drag it to the second page. Yeah, from your
okay. Okay. So let me make sure. Yeah, I'll share it so you guys can
yeah
have access to it. So these are some of the things we do. We help you get a certification. We help you get a job, which is high paid. Um, and then we help you build your resume, and then we help you in the right direction and in your career path. Because I know some of you may be new, some of you may also be in the industry, but everything we give you is an industry expert training, so you are not lacking behind. So here are some packages that we have available, and I will share it on the WhatsApp group. And once you look at it, you can decide whichever one works better for you. And then based on that, we'll be able to get you to where you want to be. Without taking much of your time, I just want to say thank you for your time, for listening, and your participation. And I'll talk to you soon. Yeah. Thank you, Vijay.
yeah. Thanks. Okay, I'll share it again. Okay, and just to summarize on what Nana just discussed, so it's on your wish and your decision. Wherever you learn, these are the things what we will share. You can learn by yourself or anywhere. You can compare or the things what this course is offering. We have different trainers here in the three different expert areas. So whichever you are comfortable after comparing, after doing your own analysis, the list of item what we mention is the very hot in the market, and while learning this you will get a good accessibility for many different opportunities. That was the agenda. And it's not by force, you can learn by yourself, just picking those particular names, and you can do your own research and learning. That's also fine. But this should be your career path if you are looking for a switch or you're want to change your career. So just take it this input from us. We don't want to forcefully enroll someone. We are just saying that these are the things will be important and play a good role in your career. Wherever you learn from, whichever whoever you learn, doesn't matter for us. But if you see this as a see some potential here and see something you are getting, then like this our sessions will be elaborated, simplified, and our approaches will be very simple, not like only theoretical and only talking about technical term. It's about going understanding that with a simple real life examples. That's what our focus is, so that everybody will get understanding. That's our main motto, that everybody can learn. Yeah, okay. So okay, I'll continue now. Okay, yeah, so let's focus on this. So we have seen that append function plays a role where we simply append. Now append as a English word, we understand that appending something into an existing one run. one, right? But when you do a programming, you should remember these functions, then only you can use it. Suppose you are learn Python in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, wonderfully, right? But in an interview, interview, that person has asked you to write something, and in that moment of 3 or 4 lines of code, you didn't remember a function which would have done your job very easily, and you are struggling to do the same thing by writing your own code, right? So maybe he's looking for a function that you should use that function and do it simply, right? So those things have understand the advantage of each function. We should remember when we need it, we have to use it. Okay. Anyway, I don't know how in that market somebody will ask you to write, but they will check your logical understanding when you explain how did you solve some problem, how do you visualize data, how do you play with data, or how do you use Python in API or different set of places. So it depends which interview you are giving, right? Okay. Anyway, yeah. So I'll list. Yeah. So I think that we didn't discuss these things yesterday. uh, there are functions which supports list. Okay, when we have something, we are dealing with many items. Let me check my am I not speaking the mute? Yeah, good. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I was saying when we are dealing with the list, we have some functions given by Python developers, and using this we will directly get the total aggregated value what we are looking for. Like, I want to know the length in the sense how many items I have in my list, maybe 1000, 2000. The len function will give me, right? I want to know out of all the item what is the max, you know, and what is the minimum value or minimum item or numbers I have, right? Min is a function name, max is a function name, sum is a function name, right? If you are have already experience in SQL, you know min, max, and sum, right? And length also. The sorted is the new thing here. You want your list to be sorted based on the length, based on the capacity that your list holding, based on the size. The sorting will take time, and it will give you the sorted result. But let me just hold on here and explain you one scenario. Suppose you have 1 million items in the list. Now, will you apply sorting? If you apply sorting, it's going to kill your time until you have a good processor and computing processes online or cloud or somewhere, right? So another thing is, if you see the explanation, it says permanently rearrange the list from the lowest to the highest. Now it's a one-time effort. Once you do this, next time when you get it, it's all here. It's all sorted, right? So what we will do with the sorted one? Why we exactly need that? Suppose you want to go with the first item, second item, third item, and you are doing something. Maybe you are publishing them, and based on the numbering, you are doing some operations, right? In that way, in that manner, you need a sorted results. Okay. So remember these 5 functions for the list that you can be used inside the list. Means not inside, with the list. Okay. Yeah. Mm, okay. Yeah. So we talked about operators. No, I think we didn't talk about. Yeah. So operators, assignment operator we have seen when we are assigning some value to a variable, right? Now here there are few mathematical calculation, not calculation, mathematical operators which validate data. What is validating data? A equal to b. Suppose we are saying is a equal to b. So what a value holds? Suppose a holds 10, b holds 10. Are they equal? Yes. So we say that is equal, right? And we say it is less than that, right? So these symbols we understand and we speak as a human understanding, we know equal to, less than. But how Python understand using these operators? We have to apply these operators. And the good thing is about there are logical operators, which will go there. Just hold on for a second. and see this. Spend at least a few seconds on focusing on the slide right now. What you have is not in, not in. Okay, basically is in the sense is referring, is this that particular object what we are looking, right? Is not that particular object, right? So we were be comparing one object with the another one, and this operator is going to help us. Okay, so for the equal to, it needs a double equal to sign. That's becomes a equal to operator. Okay, if you have less than equal to or greater than equal to, it becomes greater than or equal to in a simple English, right? Okay, and not in, it means you are checking into the list of things, you are checking some item into particular set of arrays. We'll talk about what is arrays. Arrays are nothing but what we learned in a list. Okay, okay, this is what the logical operator. This is wonderful way of, this is like how we speak, and that will be, that goes with uh, human understanding, it becomes very simple, and you will enjoy this. So logical operator is something when we use not, and, or, right? This is what we have been doing, and we understand, we speak, and we use those things, right? So when you have a, 1 minute, when you have an operator like this, your programming or writing a program becomes much easy. Okay, we will see this. uh, just remember three different logical operator here: not, and, or. Okay, first thing is not. After not, we are saying uh, if that particular expression or variable is false. What is false and true? We learned there are different type of variables, data types: integer, float, string, boolean, okay, hexadecimal, binary. Now this logical operator works with true and false, means they are looking for a variable which is a type of boolean. Okay, so not means we are saying after the not that condition is true or false. Based on that we will take some action. Okay, how do we take actions? We have some con- we have some control statements. I think, let me check some audio. Somebody has kept the audio on. Oh, somebody put a questions. Uh, Once we will learn that, we will discuss the comparison. But we'll right now we'll go with what we have. Okay, sorry. Let me see if somebody is unmuted himself. Okay, I hear some voice. That's what. Okay, fine. So yeah, I noted down your questions. Once we'll proceed, we'll do that. Okay, where is my okay, so let's do this. Yeah, note I was saying when we have some set of variable which provides boolean value true and false, that suits not. And when we say and, here we are saying two condition has to be validated. Okay, when I say validated, it means somebody has to check or somebody has to perform a validation. How do we perform a validation? Using operators. Operators will can tell us, right? Or some direct boolean variable can tell us, right? It is a true and false. What is the agenda here? To get to know that particular thing is true or false. If I'll say to cast your vote, you need to be above 18 years, and you need to be citizen on that particular region or particular area, or where district or wherever it is, right? So there are two things I'm forcing. If you need something, you need to satisfy this and that. So how do you write that in Python? You take input from the user: how old are you? Then you take where is your location, which city you live in, right? Based on that you decide for that particular person is able to vote in that or not. You will check both of them, right? In the same way, Python also you can write two uh, uh, input values from users. You can validate and decide whether that person is able to vote or not, right? So and is something like that. Sometimes you have a or in the sense you will take orange juice or you will take mango juice, right? One of the juice we will give you one, whichever one you like, right? So in that case we'll fit over there. how do we fit this into a programming? Okay, now, yeah, let's understand this. Let's do this, okay? Yeah. Hmm, true, false. Hmm, okay. So if I'll say if not uh, if not raining and um, I'm just writing a simple generic one, right? Just to make you understand something. And hot day. Okay. And I can say weekday. Okay. So something I've written here. If your programming will go like this, if not raining and hot day and weekday, you should say print. Let's go out. I won't execute this. Anybody can tell me if I want to print this single quotes, what should I use? Can anybody remember? Did anyone remember? So right now this will give me error, right? You can see it's not right yet. Okay. We got some response.
Yeah, you use double quotes.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. One of the suggestions double quote, and on the chat window we see slashes. Nice. Okay. So thanks. I just want to check that how many how many are with us. Okay. So this is how a logical operators will look like. Okay. So let's see. If I'll say if I'll create few more variables, a equal to 5, b equal to 10. Sorry, and I'll say if a equal to b. Okay, so suppose I would have done like this, then what we can say, this is, if this is true, something will come here, and if not, then we have different other ways of validating data, which we are going to learn in our control statement chapters. Okay, so what I was saying, learning logical operators, learning basic operators, mathematical operations, this is how slowly we are going to the complex learning, where we do much bigger programmers, we'll do classes, object oriented programmings, how the real world programming works. So these small things will make sense when we do a big things tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Okay. Okay, so let's, we have another 12 minutes. Fine. Now, I hope this gives you some understanding, but I haven't, we haven't experienced if and any looping or any validation control statement. So just hold on for that. If you're looking for if explanation, we'll come to that. Okay, we'll come to that. Yeah. So yeah, here we go. So so the object here is first is control statements and the loop. So for the normal definition, control statements are nothing but you are validating something. Based on that, you execute something or you perform some action. Okay, that is you're controlling a particular statement. Okay, second, loop is when you loop through something or you iterate some number, maybe you want to multiply with and then print it, maybe two tables, fourth table, or maybe some other calculations, maybe a lottery ticket, or maybe a dynamic print, right? So anything. So loop is keep repeating something until the condition is true, and there are different types of loops we will come to that. So this is our basic understanding what is control statements and loops. Okay, now the objectives of this particular lesson will be if, while, and for. So let's quickly jump directly. So we have two things here when we say control statements. Okay, while is a is a link between a looping plus control, but we have to learn and understand with the control statements. So let's see. So first thing what you should remember about control statement as a theoretically is a particular validation condition which allows you to go into the next line or go inside the block. Okay, and there are two main things as we talk if and whiles, and remember that while and other loops will repeat until it's they are true. Okay, we will see that flow also. Yeah, first let's understand if. 1 minute, give me 1 minute. Sorry for that. Yeah, so again, here it explains you the different four sections. Okay, that allows you to execute a set of blocks with a, if condition is true. It can run an alternative block of a code in itself. It goes, we will understand that second point. Only first point right now you can understand. It execute the block if condition is true, right? And the third is else. Else is what you see in the below screenshot. Else is something when your if condition says not true, it means if this is not happening, let's at least do this. Else do this. Okay. So this is what we'll say else, right? If you can't do this, else at least do that. So that is at least. Okay. So and you can chain up, you can do you can write multiple if condition in a nested condition that we call nested, and here we call in a chain. And so why we need multiple ifs. Okay, we need sometimes we have to check your age, we have to check your citizenship, we have to check many other background check, then we will give you a driving license, right? So sometimes there are so many checks to perform some applications, right? To validate your data, to validate your national identity, validate your whatever records and everything, right? Your history and everything. Then you get some things, something get processed and you will get from the authorities, right? So they will do many checks. In if that particular thing is happening on the background on the some application, that application is also validating one by one, then that particular application developer or programmer has written to validate all of your records. Okay, in the same way we are just learning there can be a there will be a there will be a possibility that you will be writing multiple if, but we will see how it becomes complex. And yeah, how do we refine them, because once it becomes complex we have to uh, have some technique which simplify that. Okay, yeah, so this is how a simple flow diagram, with that everybody can understand what happens with if. Okay, so if it is a true you execute this statement. Okay, if it is a false you go to the other condition code, right? Okay, so this is how a if looks, right? But well, let me, yeah, I think there is already example here. Yeah, so let's say you have one variable release year. Please pay attention on the screen. You have a variable called release year which is 1991, and the question you are asking to a user is when was Python first released, you are asking, and you have that in variable, right? Just consider that both things are coming from a user input. Okay, and you if you want to validate that particular variables against the user input. Okay, and that's a constant value I can say right now 1991, we know that it's 1991. And when user was inserting we did this, right? I hope you guys remember input function. Using input we can take input value from the user, and here we say if answer is a variable which is coming from a user equal to after that there is a release year which is nothing but we assigned a hard code value. This is what we call hard code values when we do directly into a programming. Okay, we are not taking from anywhere, we are passing it. This is called hard code values. Okay, so answer equal to release year. After that you see a colon there, right? This colon tells us that here the if ends, and now in the next line after little space that we call indentation, right? We learned this in our day one, and in our slides is there. If you haven't gone through, please go through that slide. indentation slide where we have little spacing. You see this one tab spacing, right? So this is mandatory, and after the colon you go, so that particular print or that particular line belongs to this. If this is true, then you will say congratulations, that is correct. And if this condition is not true, then you will have to it will execute the else block. Now right now you see a one line of if and one line of else. But what else if we have to do multiple lines? Do we need to write blocks? No. This is indentations will help you whatever number of lines you have to put. Okay. So, and on the last line, there is a thing called print by. So that's my questions to you guys. What do you think? If this answer we will give 1991, what's going to print? Definitely print is going to congratulations is going to print when our answer is matching with exactly with the input, our with that particular release year variable, right? But just give me your answer that will the by will get printed here in every execution or not. What you think? On the last line we have here by, right? Will that get printed or not? Just yes or no, whatever we
Yes.
understood. Okay, somebody said yes. Okay, on the chat window. Uh, yeah. Oh my God, I see a lot of yes. Okay. I see no also. Okay. Okay. I see no. Few more no's. Okay. So let's execute this. Then it becomes interesting. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know this will give error. That's fine. Okay. Let's do this. Uh, yeah. What was our slide? Let me refer. Sorry, same example. Release year and equal to some variable input. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So I'll say a equal to 5. And I'll say mm, okay, I'll say my name, that's fine. Okay, and I'll take user input. Okay, enter name. Okay, and then I say if a equal to, then I'll say yes matched, and then I'll say not matched something. And oh sorry, here there was a here line, right? Print something was there, right? Okay, yeah, let's see. So let's see this what happens. Okay, I will pass. You see, in this now I will run one more time, and this is the true condition, right? This condition is true. Now I'll pass a false condition. Now I'll give something someone. Okay, it's still not matched, but still this will print, right? So why I put this example, because when we are talking blocks, this is what our if is controlling here, else is controlling here, right? This is what indentation is. That particular sections will be referred to the parent, right? That particular sections will be referred to the parent, whatever we are going to write. Okay, now I need answers. This also will print or not. Yeah, I need answers. What happens in that case? If I'll give k as a k, what happens in that case? Will it only print this line or will also print this line? Or will there be error? Okay, I'll check if you're interested. Okay, he say okay, somebody says both. No, it will print congratulations. Okay, both. Okay, so I got few answers. Both. Okay, nice. Okay, so let's do this. Yes. So you see, so that controlling happening based on this intentions what you have, that says these are the child, and that above thing is the parent. This is what indentation means. In earlier programming, we used to do like this. When we used to write in 2012, we were doing like this. This is how we were doing in ASP.NET, C Sharp. There are many different languages. I worked for a couple of months, years, but yeah. So whenever there is a work, we have to do it. So one guys will be doing everything. Will be a programmer, will be a data guy, will be reporting guy. In 10 years back, this is how I started and learned many things. Okay. So anyway, cool. Okay. So let's we I know we reached the time. Just 1 or 2 more minutes. I won't take 15 minutes today. Just 1 or 2 minutes, 2 more minutes. Yeah. Now there is a new things what we have talked about. Else if. In else if, in the short way, we have written ELIF. Else if. Okay. This is elif. So what is the advantage of this is we can check multiple conditions in the same set of block. Now you must be thinking, oh, why we need that? Why don't we write multiple ifs? Why we need else, if, else, if, else, if? Okay, let me understand this. Let me explain this. Sorry. Yeah. So when you say if three times, your compiler, when I say compiler, it's an agent which compiles your code and execute. It's a Python written set of things, right? That's a compiler which compile your things into machine language and try to interpret what we are trying and what commands we are giving to perform an action, right? So when that particular compiler comes, and it if there are three ifs, one, two, and three, then it's going to read all three. Okay. But when you do if else if else if else if, then it's going to check if one of the condition is true, it's not going to read another one, it will come out. Okay. So the advantage is your code becomes uh, organized and clean and less time consuming and many other benefits. Okay. So that's the basic difference between if and else if. And if we use if, or how do we should we use else if, we should remember in the sense, the uses of if else if is, I will ask you three things. If one of the things is true, I will give you this, otherwise I won't give you that. So I have to check in one by one. I'll ask you first question, then I'll ask you second question, then I'll ask you third question. If you cleared your second question, then I'm not going to ask you third question, you are good to go. And if you answer your first question right, you are good to go. I'm not going to ask you second and third, right? So if and else if works like that, works with this way. Okay. And again here here will that print in the end will get printed or not? Now your answer should be yes, right? This is not following any parent here, so it's going to print. Okay. Okay. Uh, yeah, while statement let's cover in a minute. While condition is little advanced than if, it also hold us for to check and validate that particular condition, and it's also loop through. Okay. So while condition says uh, run the code while condition is true. So it will iterate, it will keep repeating whatever there in the while, inside the while intentions. It will keep repeating until this condition is true. Now you must be wondering when it will be false. It will be infinite. It will go like that, right? But we are the programmer, and here you can say we are the creator of our code. Whatever we will write, whatever we decide, that happens. Okay. Generally in our life, it won't happen the way we want. But in program, whatever we write, that happens for sure. Okay. So now there is a else you see at the end. Okay. If that condition is false, then and not even true, then it goes to the else and run that particular code. Okay. But the thing is that else part code is not under loop, it only run once. Okay. Please remember that. It only run once. Okay. Now you've seen this will allow you to execute repetitively, right? Repetitively in the sense right now you haven't experienced, some of you might have experienced what is looping, but this is one of your new loop introductions today. Okay, so this is how while goes. Yeah, and suppose you have two variables. As we have less time, I will do the practical tomorrow and I'll explain this PPT so you can also practice. Yeah, if you see this condition here, there is a condition with the while. It says check some condition, based on that take an action, right? If this condition is true, this keep repeating. You see this arrow is going again and again, again and again. Until this condition is true, it's keep going. The moment it's false, it goes down. Okay, so this is how it happens. Let's see this. We have 1 and then we have 10, and what is the agenda here? We are printing 10 times. Okay, from the current till the end. The colon is mandatory, right? In that denotes that we are done with the while. Now we want to uh, write the child lines for that particular while, right? Okay, so you see print and current and else is nothing but this condition is false, then it goes here, right? So it's repeat. So why we have done like this? If you see the third line, I think first line is very straightforward, easy. We are comparing a variable with another variable. We are saying until this current variable is less than or equal to, less than 1, we are saying 1 is less than equal to 10. This condition is true or false? This condition is true. Okay, then compiler goes to the second line, print current, then it will print 1. Then it's we are saying assign the variable. This is also assignment. Please remember, assigning whatever this has plus 1. It nothing but in a simple meaning. Let me bring it to a notepad. This means current equal to current plus 1. This is what it means. Yeah, this is what it is. Okay, in short we are writing, okay, this is the short version of this. Okay, whatever current has, that also exists plus 1 and then assignment. Okay, this is the short version of us doing the same thing. Okay, yeah, so I hope you understood why we are doing here. Because if this condition is 100% every time it's true, it's keep printing for infinite, right? We need to move on to the next one, and we have to false on the some point of time when we are done with whatever purpose we have. So we are the creator here. We create a purpose. We know that this has a 1, this has a 10. We said 1 to 10 is less than or equal, condition true. And here we are adding. As per the loop, please remember this goes again to the condition. If this condition is to check the condition, but before it goes to the check the condition, we have added plus 1 right here. So this plus 1, 1 becomes 2. Now the condition 2 is less than equal to 10. What will be your answer? 2. Yes, 2 is less than. Yes, it means either is the less than or equal to, or both, right? So right now our condition is less. 2 is less then 10. Yes, the condition is true. Goes again. Then print 2. Then 2 plus 1 becomes 3. Then goes here 3. 3 is less than 10. Yes, true. Then goes 4. Then 5. Then 6. Then 7. Then 8. Then 9. Then 10. 10 plus 1 becomes 11. Then it comes here. Now 11 is not even less, not even equal to. The condition is false. This is how it goes to the else part and says you have reached the end. So we know that at some point of time, after some iteration, it will hit that point and it will come out. We have to plan the while in such a way. We write a condition and later we will increment that particular variable value. So we have to plan when we think of a while, we have to plan certain activities. It has to hit the target. It has to at some point of time it has to false the condition, and we have to increment somewhere. These are the points we have to remember when we deal with while. Okay. uh, Okay, I want to start loops. There is a for loop we have to see, but yeah. So then these are the theoretical part if you are interested. And yeah, I won't take much of your time. I know we are going 10 minutes ahead extra today, so sorry for that. And I think that's it. Please go through these slides. And tomorrow, I think will be very complex class. If you haven't done whatever I have discussed so far, tomorrow's will be a bouncer. So you have entire day tomorrow till the night. Listen this recording if you're driving, if you're sitting, if you instead of doing any other social networking, instead of doing any other videos, YouTube, please spend 1 hour for your learning, not for myself. Okay, I don't get gain anything if you do or you where you put your efforts. But if you put on your learning, spending your 1 hour tomorrow with me will make sense to you. Okay. And I see a lot of guys are giving answers. Thank you for those who are participating in my questions and answers. Thanks everyone for listening, who are listening at least, and who are spending their night time and giving 1 hour to this session. Thank you so much for everyone. Yeah, now I'm open for the questions. Learning part is over. Who wants to log out? Please feel free to log out. And those who has the questions, they can stay.
DJ, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Hey, so after so when we take this course, how do assignments look like? Do you give like projects that give us the opportunity to integrate everything we've learned, or how do the assignments look like? Because personally, I learn better when I have to do something. You
Yes,
know.
correct, correct. Yeah, actually, that what you are saying, this is what we planned for this course. Earlier, when we were doing other basic courses, we were giving scripts and word file in assignments. This courses, when we are offering, whatever I experienced in the 10 years, I'm trying to take some modules of it and try to bring the same requirement, explain the requirement, and trying that now you guys do this requirement, what you will do, how you will do. Then I will try to put sub modules that how you should do. Then I will write the work item and action items like we do in the real project. We do scrum calls, we do sync up calls. So those things also I will elaborate. We will all trainers will elaborate how the real work. I will still works for some company. And so whatever I have learned, waterfall model, I have learned TFS is a repository tool where we maintain code, how a team works together, how they collaborate their work. So this course, whatever we are offering, we will showcase that this is how you you team up for 4 or 5 guys and then try to work on that particular model or that particular project which has a 4 or 5 models. But where we see is we need a dedicated guys for these activities. This needs a team efforts, a lot of effort when you do a real Python or real coding, real data side with the real activities in the real world. It writing it 2 lines, it's very easy. But when you follow the company standards, when you follow the prototypes, rules, regulations, documentation, this 2 line works you will be end up doing in 6 hours. You have to take approval, you have to create a new file, you have to check in that file into the server repository. Your colleague or your peer has to review that, he has to approve that. Then this will checked in and validated against syntax error. Then it will validated again dev environment, then a different QA environment. So these are the activities I'm going to explain when we will give assignment this time. So I have Nana, myself, Rajiv, George, we have other trainers. We were thinking how we can give a real, good, close feeling to the working culture. So we are thinking that direction. We are putting things into the document in our offerings, and we will give this opportunity that everybody, whoever will enroll, that will learn the same way when they will join some project and they see some new tool. Oh, what is this tool? How do I use it? That time they won't struggle, right? Earlier we used to send videos that you learn this TFS, This is a 1 hour video how the code is integrated when one person works on the same file, another person also works on the same file, how things works in the project. So I used to share videos, but people don't used to see that, so I thought of showing that in this course. We thought of showing that how this works. And not everything is comes as a free, but few things comes as a trial version, so you can try on the trial version when whoever will enroll, and that will give you a confidence learning and understanding all the tools before you onboard in a project. Now you know what is TFS, what is this repository, what is Git, what is cloud, what is this that. So when they talk technically on the day 2, day 3, or after 1 week of KT, they will talk technical terms, right? And you some will get panic if they don't know those technical terms. But we will make sure we will give you a 100% overview of KT. You will hear the names, and now it becomes at the end. I'm not promising false promising here. What I'm saying, we will give you everything, but it's on the person how much effort that person is ready to put it hours, to put your hours into weekends, to put hours on, or after your daily works, right? To learn something better, what we are saying, that will give you 100% confidence to work on the next day in any project. But at the end, it's somebody's effort, not a trainer efforts, not a company's effort or a consulting effort. That's what my mean is.
No, no, I understand. I understand. So, my, I sort of want to get a sense of whether we'll get projects. So will we get dummy projects that we can work on as a group?
Yeah, yeah.
That simulates real life
Mm.
projects.
But you want a real production environment project, like you are somebody is accessing or using that, a real one,
Yes.
or
Vijay, let me come in.
yeah.
So basically, you see how when we do the training, anytime you teach any new thing, you make the consultant create different folders and you give assignments, So that is what he's meaning by project. Just something that would let them practice so they know that, okay, this is the end result. Um, okay, I don't know if I'm answering your question, but basically that's what he does. Like,
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
every session that he trains, he gives an assignment which is delivered should be delivered the next during the next session. Then we discuss it, make sure the understanding is clear before he moves on to the next step. Yeah,
I understand. I understand. I
yeah.
understand.
Yeah, I have a question.
Uh-huh. Please go ahead.
How does this course translate to QA automation testing?
So QA automation testing,
Using
you
Mhm.
you work depending on what kind of group you're in, you work hand in hand with the developers, right? So you kind of read their queries, their code. If there's any development implementation, you do the review, you do the documentation and all of that. So
no,
this program
no,
helps.
no, because what I'm saying, I'm a QA. I know you can do, like, if you want to do automation, you can either do like Selenium with Java.
Yes.
So I know you can do Selenium with Python. So I was trying to figure out, is this a course relating to, because I've done the course Selenium with Python, but just that I did not understand the basis of Python. That's why I'm taking this course. But it appears that this course is more towards the development of, development. It's not related to QA per se, right?
Yeah,
uh,
so we take you through the whole SDLC life cycle, which of course QA is the next stage after development because you start development goes to UAT, then you guys do your QA testing for approval.
yeah.
The Python gives you an in-depth understanding of
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
you
let
need to
me
know.
let me answer Nana to Daniel question. Yeah,
Okay,
thanks
go ahead.
Daniel for asking that. I understand that you are, as you said, that you are already working on a QA position. So to take
Yes.
the advantage of Python in the Selenium, or Selenium is the automatic testing tool. This just for others' information. So when you performing and try to utilize the Python, it's not, we are not going at development or application programming perspective. It's a generic Python, when you learn list dictionaries, and different libraries Python offers, those things, when you write Python for the Selenium and the script wherever the Selenium plugs in fits in, you need to understand the basic Pythons and the list, the other things like a list, variable dealing with the strings, numbers, and different data sets.
Yes.
So we are focusing on base Python fundamental. It's not specific to
Okay.
the application or web development. It's not web development Python. It's not
Oh,
database
okay.
related. It's a basic Python which fits
Oh,
everywhere.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because thank you for that explanation. Because the course that I took, the Selenium with Python,
Mm.
even though I was able to follow all the this, but I mean, as you were the way you were explaining it, I did not get that understanding like the basic Python. It was just like a 2 hours rush through the whole Python. There was
Yeah.
no detailed understanding
Yeah.
of what. So I really appreciate what
Yeah.
we are
Because
doing. So
yeah.
I
Mm.
can at least I can go back and look at my notes and say, oh, okay, this is the
Yeah.
logic behind what was I mean what I was doing
Yeah.
during the automation. So thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks that you like our approach. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Any other guys? Any other questions before we conclude? And tomorrow we'll
Yeah,
be
I think
interested. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. Mm.
I think I did has a question the difference between the
Yeah.
list and the tuple.
Yes. Yes. I'll include that in our sessions. No issues. Yeah. I'll include that. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
I noted down that. Yeah. Okay. Any
Okay.
other?
Vijay, do you personally train for languages such as Java, JavaScript, Node.js, and so
Uh,
forth?
no, I don't do personally. Those are actually programming languages for web development, and my expertise on the data side, cloud side, reporting side, business intelligence side. So these are my areas, but we do have those courses by other trainers.
All right, all right.
Yeah, but approach will be same. It will be simplified. Our main idea is uh, to explain and try to relate with the very basics, so that uh, a layman also will get a confidence to start with. That's what our aim is, that anybody can learn anything. Okay, any other questions, guys?
Do
Okay.
you? Yes, I have a question. Do you intend teaching maybe QA like automation in the near future?
Yeah, actually, in my current project, I
Mhm.
have created for the report testing. I have created one big framework called Arts that will do automation report testing. you know we just need to click a button, and that will use PowerShell, that will use scripting, that will use SQL Server, T-SQL scripting, then it will use C sharp and MVC model. So all these things we put it together and create a automation tool. That's the same tool if we buy from Selenium or some other testing tool, it's costing so much, right? So our client asks us to write that. So I already did that. I was thinking to share that in one of the course, that how to create your own automation in terms of reporting or validating something. But again, it goes with again a manual thing. It's not automated by some of professional tool, right? So
Yeah.
for that somebody required a some knowledge on PowerShell, or some knowledge on T-SQL, or at least on Python. So
Yeah.
our base course offers uh, getting good at base languages, data.
Okay.
Then in the advanced level, we can offer those things once that person is ready with the basic things. This is the
Okay.
advanced thing, yeah. But that's good
Okay.
point. I think if we see more interested guide, we can bring that course also. Um,
Okay.
yeah. Thank you for your suggestions. Yeah, we'll note down this and we'll see. Okay then. Thank you so much. I'll put this recording. And thanks everyone. Have a good night. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.